All right, Rob, interesting talk. Obviously, you get long interviews with LeBron and Steph and Adam Silver and a lot of the faces of the NBA. And one of the topics was with LeBron James, number one, but also Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, the guys that have been the superstars of the league for, in LeBron's case, the past 2 decades. But certainly for the last decade, they've been the face of the league. They're obviously older in the tooth and longer in the tooth, I should say, and they're going to be retiring at some point. And so the question of who is the next face or who will be the next face of the NBA was being asked, Rob. And, there's no clear-cut answer at this point. I feel like I feel like the guy that will take it, I have one in my mind that I think clearly will be. But what are your thoughts on this? You think there's a challenge for the league in finding that next face or somebody emerging? Because really it should be somebody emerging. It shouldn't be forced. Nobody, Dwayne Wade just kind of came out, out of not nowhere, but, nobody expected that from him. Heck, to be honest, Rob, people didn't expect Michael Jordan to be Michael Jordan.
I say it all the time, right? Michael Jordan took a cab from the airport when he was drafted.
Yeah.
Nobody picked him up. Nobody believes that. Like, what? No. Right. It was a different world.
Third pick.
Chris, it was a different world. You know that. It just was. I tell people all the time, I used to fly on the commercial flights. They used to be in the airports with the regular people, fly into game after game,
That's
6 a.m. flights. Right.
Yeah, they were
you were on charters by the time you got there.
We didn't fly with them, but they were charter flights. But, they didn't fly commercial.
Right. Chris, they flew commercial where I'm sitting next to Sam Bowie, who's the net center. You know what I mean? Like,
that's great though as a reporter.
Oh, it was the best. I got to know them. You
don't get that info now.
I got to know them, and we're waiting down for our luggage at the at the rack. Chris standing there talking. We used to go out to lunch. We'd be in a city together. We used to just all leave on the first flight, even though we weren't really with them. But that was just in order to get to the next city. You would always take the first flight out because it's winter time. It's the Midwest. You're going to Milwaukee. You couldn't afford for your flight to be late. You know what I mean? Or canceled, and then you can't get to the next city. So we were on all these flights together, and you camaraderie. We used to take the team bus from the hotel over to the arena. What time is the first bus? What time is the bus to the game? And the writers would get on that bus with them. That's how it was a totally different thing.
It wasn't even like that when I covered.
No, but we used to get on the bus, Chris, and I'd sit there or whatever, and the players respected the writers were on the bus. It was no big deal. Right. It really wasn't like now. Like we would be like kryptonite. Oh my God, I don't want to be on the bus with the writers.
I mean, this has been the case for 3 decades now. You can't watch practice.
Yeah, we used to watch.
Might get in for the
Chris,
last
we
10
used to
minutes.
watch practice.
Yeah.
Back then. But I don't think that it can be force-fed. I think it has to be someone that emerges, but a lot of it has to do with winning, who you start to see in the postseason, having success. There's a lot of different things that, go into it. I don't know of anybody who's ever been really handpicked. And he's just that guy. It's an electricity about you. It's something about you where people gravitate to you. And then you want to follow their journey. Well, even if when LeBron first came, you thought he would win, Chris, eventually, right? But you knew he was a special player. It's kind of guys like that. And then you start following and hope that he can, eventually cash in. Michael Jordan was special. We talked about the All-Star game when the players kind of froze Michael Jordan out in the All-Star game. They felt the league was pushing Michael, right?
Right.
And Isaiah was there, and Bird and Magic were like, wait a minute. Hey. But this kid Jordan, they're pushing, so we're going to, put a kibosh on that. And that little bump in the road wasn't going to stop Michael Jordan because he was a special player. And then once he started winning, it's through the roof.
It was over.
Right.
I think, Rob, the guy that's going to be the next face of the league is Victor Wembanyama.
Really?
And I don't think that's. You sound surprised. I don't think that's going out on a limb. Yeah, I think the dude. I think it's clear he's special. And I gotta be honest, like, I'm no doctor, but he doesn't seem to have any health issues, beyond just anything any player could get. And I don't like the fact that the Spurs, Rob, are holding the dude to like 28 minutes a game. It's just, I feel like, and I don't think he likes, that's just my opinion. I don't think he likes it, but Rob, he's averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, more than 3 blocks in 28 minutes a game. What rookie plays 28 minutes a game? A rookie that's a star or budding star. Come on. It's just ridiculous.
But isn't that? Chris, I think they're babying him too. But
yeah,
aren't they looking at what has happened to other big guys like that? I even though he hasn't had the same issues, what would be the only other reason to do that?
Well, it's the Spurs way. There's only two guys. Well, a couple guys are playing. 3 guys are playing more minutes than him, but they're all at 29 minutes. Devin Vassell leads the team 31.7 minutes. That's the Spurs way. That's what it is. It wasn't their way when they drafted Tim Duncan, but over time that became their way, and that's what it is. There's no other reason but that. But bottom line is, I think he'll be the next face.
Let me ask you about his personality, because I don't know it.
Yeah,
do you know his what?
I don't know it anything other than what we see, and maybe some interviews and things like that. He seems to have personality. He's been, groomed, if you will, for his whole life to be in the NBA and get ready for the NBA. But what you bring up is interesting, Rob, because, I used to think an international player couldn't be the face of the league. I don't think that anymore, because they're clearly, most of them they're most of the best players.
I think but by choice though, you won't have a choice. Like you won't have a choice because the top 4 or 5 players are international.
Right.
And Chris, we could say you said it before. Sure, would baseball love to have a player from the United States be the guy making $700 million? Of course. But Ohtani is the face.
Yep.
There's no way around it.
Yep.
And he's international. He's Japanese. And when he signed, it was a big deal, and everybody was in, and you got a lot of people in Japan and a lot of Asian people who love this guy. 50 reporters, Chris, cover him every day. Not the Dodgers. They cover Ohtani.
Right.
He's the face of baseball. I can sit here all day.
And it's interesting. Now, of the international guys, Rob, when you talk about Jokic, can't really be the face. He just doesn't have the personality. Not that it's a bad personality, but he just isn't that outgoing, at least as far as courting attention and press and things like that. He seems like he's got a really good personality, but he's just not, it's not him. He doesn't really care about that stuff. I think Joel Embiid, Rob, has the personality. The question with Joel is, can he stay healthy? He's hurt right now.
Right.
And can he win? He's been in the league now a good several years.
And it's had some good teams and teammates, and nothing's happened.
And still hasn't won. So that's what's working against him. Luka has the game. I guess with Luka, Rob, it's just about will he start winning? Because you got to win to be the face of the league.
Right. And you know what, Chris? I'll give an example. And you might remember this. There was a time the league was kind of pushing Shaq when he was in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yep. And then this is before they finally get to the finals against the Rockets, but Shaq was going home come playoff time.
Right.
There ain't nothing you could do. You can't push that narrative if he's not even in the playoffs. You remember that?
Right. Oh yeah, no, I remember it. I
Yeah.
remember.
So I think that it can't be forced, and winning is very important.
Yep.
You could be a great player and all that, and if your team is at home come postseason, it's hard to put you out there like you're the best guy or you're the we're flying the mantle and the flag with you.
Of the American guys, Rob, I mean, Ja obviously is taking himself out of it. Jason Tatum, maybe. If they were to win the championship, he could be one of those guys. I don't think he'd ever be the top guy.
There's something missing for Jason Tatum, Chris, because I just look at it from this standpoint. And I know they haven't won, but they've won a lot. Yep. He's got a great smile. He's a good-looking guy. He's an energetic, exciting game. He has everything you would think, right? What is he missing?
I think it's just that.
What is he missing?
I think it's just that we know, as good as he is, as great as he is, he's a tier below that upper echelon.
He's just not there.
Giannis, you know, I think the same thing goes for Donovan Mitchell. You know, these guys are great, but you know they're a tier below the Jokic's, the Giannis's, the Embiid's, the Lukas. And so it's going to take winning for them to become the face of the league, as good as they are. So out of the I mean, Zion obviously is kind of taking himself out of
He's
that.
done.
I think Anthony Edwards, Rob, is a guy that could become that. Of the American players, he would be a guy I'd look at. He's got a great personality. He's, you know, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Hustle.
I know he was in it, right?
Yeah, he was great. He kind of stole the show to some degree, even though he wasn't like the star of it. His game is fantastic. He plays on both ends of the floor, plays hard, got a great smile. And, you know, again, you got to win, but right now they're right there around the top of the Western Conference. So if they were to start winning, his game is, you know, jumps out at you. I mean, it's great.
We liked him his rookie year. You remember? We thought he should have been rookie of the year.
He should have, over LaMelo. And obviously he's become the better player. But I think he would be my pick for American, like of the guys in the league right now, the young guys, he would be my pick of the Americans. And I say Wembanyama overall of all the players.